Right now, the Badgers are headed to the Big Ten Championship. We'll give you a first look at what's at stake.
And Madison police are investigating reports of shots fired overnight. We have the new details straight ahead.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now this morning.
Good Friday morning, everyone, and thanks for joining us on this December 6th. I'm Josh Breiter.
And I'm Leah Lynchide. Meteorologist Hattie McLean joining us this morning. We are all sporting our Badger red. We're ready for the weekend.
We are, yes. Ready for the weekend in more ways than one, right?
Oh, yeah.
We have a pretty nice forecast coming up for the weekend. We start out with clouds early this morning. Take a look at Weather Track. No precipitation falling from these clouds, but they're pretty thick across the region. They are starting to break up as you look up towards La Crosse, so we will continue to see a clearing trend work its way into southern Wisconsin over the next couple of hours. Our temperatures will drop into the 20s before climbing back into the low to mid 30s this afternoon. So definitely cooler than it was yesterday, but the sun will help later on. Here's a look at your traffic report this morning. The First Alert traffic maps showing you that there's a stalled vehicle on the exit ramp to Main Street. This is from northbound 151 near Sun Prairie. No delays though there at this time. No other major delays here in Madison, although it looks like it is getting a little busier on Stoughton Road right around the Beltline. Coming up in 10 minutes or so, we'll talk about what's ahead this weekend. We have one more mild weekend before the weather pattern changes. We're talking some light snow and then Arctic air heading into next week.
Yeah, boy, little teaser there. We're talking about slashing our temperatures in half, aren't we?
Yeah, we're down to the single digits. So are you ready?
I know, you can only laugh. It is winter, you guys. It is December.
We've been spoiled this week.
We have. All right, thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
We have new video this morning of a car involved in a shooting incident overnight. Dane County Dispatch says they got a call just before 9 last night for someone in a black sedan shooting at another car on East Washington Avenue at Nelson Road just past the interstate. That car was eventually found abandoned in Sun Prairie by Sun Prairie police. Madison police tell us they found evidence in that car that supports the claim that there was a shooting, but haven't heard of any damage or of anyone who was hurt. We're told there's no damage to the public right now, or danger rather to the public, but the suspected shooter hasn't been found.
Madison police say it wasn't just one student hit by a BB getting off the bus Tuesday afternoon, but two. A boy allegedly used a BB gun to shoot two girls as they got off the bus, one in the hand and one in the arm. Another 13-year-old boy was arrested for reportedly bringing that same BB gun to school the following day. Both students made an appearance in juvenile court yesterday. The district wants families to know they're not taking this case lightly.
It's a big deal. Do not bring any kind of weapon-looking object to school.
According to the district, bringing any type of gun, including a BB gun, results in mandatory suspension and recommendation for expulsion. This all comes in the midst of two student shootings in the past week across the state, including one in Waukesha, where a student was shot after pointing a pellet gun at officers.
Bullying can now earn your kid a fine of up to $500. The school district of Edgerton is just the third in our area to adopt a policy like this. It's a joint effort between the district and local police. Fines range from anywhere between $10 to $500. The district says this is a proactive measure, but it's still a decision they felt was important to make.
Often bullying goes on under the radar and we're not aware of it. And if we're not aware of it, we can't be a part of the solution. Two, once we are a part of the solution, it's a partnership between the school district and the Edgerton Police Department. And I think that just makes both of us, gives both of us more leverage in addressing these type of issues.
You'll remember Sun Prairie adopted a similar policy this past fall. A lieutenant there tells us that since then they've given 2 tickets and 1 fine.
A local school is closed this morning because around 30% of the student body is sick with the norovirus. Johnson Creek Elementary School had that many students call in sick just yesterday. Both the middle school and alternative schools will still be open today.
Students at Oshkosh West High School will be back in class today. Students went back yesterday for the first time since the officer-involved shooting to get their backpacks, books, and anything else they left behind. For many, it was like reliving a bad memory.
Just when I walked into classrooms, my eyes got a little watery just because, last time I was in here, I jumped out a window.
I definitely don't feel safe going back to school, but I feel like once you get back in the groove of everything, I think everything is going to go back to normal.
Now with their study materials in hand, it's time to get back on track. Counseling will be available for students at the school starting today and lasting as long as it's needed. 6:04 right now. It is a big weekend for the Badgers as they head back to the Big Ten championship game against a familiar opponent.
And there's a lot more on the line for both teams than just a trophy. Our Christina Laurie is here this morning with a preview. Hi, Christina.
Good morning, Josh and Leah. It is a big weekend for all of us. A win this weekend for the Buckeyes would guarantee them a spot in the 4-team playoff, but they may have that lockdown regardless. So there's a lot more on the line for our Badgers, who've been hot ever since they lost to the Buckeyes in Columbus this October. The Badgers have turned their season around, winning 4 consecutive games in November. A win this weekend would keep them ahead of Penn State and Minnesota, which could send them to the Rose Bowl. The last time they played in Pasadena was January 1st, 2013. The Badgers' last Rose Bowl win, however, was 20 years ago in the year 2000. But let's not look too far ahead right now. Tomorrow you can cheer on the Badgers at the official campus watch party held inside the Union at Dirt Rath starting at 7 o'clock. And history could be on the Badgers' side this weekend, even if the odds makers aren't. The Buckeyes 16.5-point favorites. I'll explain why some say Wisconsin will win and how you can get in the winning spirit too here in Madison ahead at 6:30.
We had to show Josh's face for just a second because I don't think he's over that Minnesota loss.
Oh my God.
He's not. We want to rub it in.
Oh, okay.
The act
Did you
is
see
back
his
in
face?
Madison. How do you feel about it? This is the mic, air mic.
Josh on the spot.
I'm wearing my red. That should be enough, right?
I know, he is insistent that he's a Badgers fan.
Okay.
Insistent.
Yeah.
I'm supporting
We're all
them.
Badgers fans when they're doing well, right, Josh?
What about Illinois?
I know. I'm sorry. Again, I'll just leave.
I'm surrounded by a Minnesota fan and Illinois State fan. I am the true lone Badger on this desk.
The
right now.
Badgers are my second favorite Big Ten team.
Same.
I'll take it.
I mean,
But
you
can
also
leave.
went to the UW, so there's
That's
a little
true.
different there.
That's very true. You guys live here. Come on.
Well, yeah, I'm wearing my red.
That's true. That's good enough. Thank you very
These are
much,
fighting
Christina.
words.
All right, our coverage of the Big Ten championship game is just starting. Jay Wilson and Kevin Lewis are headed to Indy. They're going to have live coverage of the game that's coming up later today on News 3 Now and throughout the weekend. New this morning, American households are spending more on health care compared to years past. The National Health Expenditure Report shows more than $1 trillion was spent on health care last year. That's a 4% increase over the year before. The country overall spent $3.6 trillion on health care. That's nearly 18% of the economy. About 1 million more Americans were uninsured last year. The total climbed to almost 31 million people. There is a new option for those in need of memory care as the demand for those services grows in our area. Grace is opening 12 new hospice memory care suites on its campus in Fitchburg, and we're getting a sneak peek inside. Each room is private with its own bathroom. To qualify for the rooms, patients need to also be qualified for hospice care. The new facility is set to open before the new year.
Baby changing stations could soon be in all newly constructed bathrooms in public and commercial spaces. A bill proposed by 3 male lawmakers from Milwaukee is already seeing bipartisan support. Senator Chris Larson tells WPR that any building under construction or gets renovated after the bill passes would be required to make sure that all of the bathrooms maintain a baby changing station. The bill is being passed around for signatures. 6:08 is your time right now. Earlier this week, we told you that the holiday season marks a critical shortage in blood donations.
So one man is going above and beyond, donating more than 100 gallons of blood and platelets. That's the equivalent of saving 3,000 lives. Here's why he's doing it. 75-year-old Vietnam veteran and professional bowler Ron White has hit many milestones, but this one is special. In the 25 years he's donated, it was simply a routine until he met a little girl fighting cancer.
She would smile, and it was like, 100-watt bulb. If I just saved, that was good.
Some emotional sound there. As a reminder, here in our area, the Red Cross is offering you a $5 Amazon gift card for donating blood.
All right, more local news now. Later today at the Capitol, the Wisconsin government will get into the holiday season. Governor Evers, along with DNR Secretary-designee Preston Cole, they're going to host the annual holiday tree lighting ceremony. The tree was a source of controversy last month. That's when the governor announced he would call it a holiday tree. Former Governor Scott Walker had referred to it as a Christmas tree while he was in office, but the tree had been called a holiday tree for decades before that. The lighting ceremony will be held at noon in the Capitol Rotunda.
A local man is asking anyone and everyone to send his dad Christmas cards over the next few weeks. His dad was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer back in August. He says the chemo was making him miserable, so he decided to stop chemo and let nature take its course. Gene Whitenhiller was given just 5 months to live. For his last Christmas, he said he wants his last holiday to be as special as possible.
Just an overwhelming outpouring of love and support from people that I've never met, probably never will, but who care?
Email or mailing address is right there on your screen. This is also posted on our website, channel3000.com.
This will make this gentleman's day. And this is what the season is about, right? It doesn't cost you anything but 50 cents for a stamp.
It's just amazing what even the smallest gesture can do this time of the year.
Yeah, I know we here at News 3 Now are certainly sending cards, so think about donating as well.
Yeah, do some good.
All right, coming up on News 3 Now this morning, we are bringing you the latest on a shooting in Florida that killed 4 after an armed robbery and high-speed chase. The terrifying first-hand footage that's coming up next.
But first, we have a pretty mild weekend for December ahead here in Wisconsin, but Hattie says we're going to be dropping back into the teens and single digits early next week. Your extended forecast right after this.
This
Good morning from the Hattie-O patio. Still a little breezy outside this morning. Feels cold as well. Temperatures dropping into the 20s in some spots this morning. Take a look at snow depth, though, across the northern hemisphere. We're looking at not a lot of snow, even across parts of Canada right now. You have to go way into the Arctic to see any significant snow on the ground. The exception, though, would be northern Wisconsin. Take a look at the snow depth after that last snowstorm Thanksgiving weekend. We have quite a bit of snow on the ground in the Northwoods, north of a line from Eau Claire over to Rhinelander. Here in Madison, though, in southern Wisconsin, the ground is bare. Closing in on the holidays, though, you may be wondering, are we going to have a white Christmas here across southern Wisconsin? Well, the odds are in our favor. If you look back at the historical averages, we have about a 60% chance to have a white Christmas here across southern Wisconsin. Of course, those percentages go up as you head northward. Now, nothing in the near term, though, as far as snow is concerned. Doppler track is quiet this morning. If we zoom out and look at the entire state, really no snow to be found here in Wisconsin. Just some lake effect snow bands affecting parts of the UP and northern Michigan this morning. There is some snow in the forecast, though. Here's a look at your future track forecast model starting 6:30 p.m. on Sunday. Holding off the rain chances until late in the day on Sunday. So it's likely that we're not going to see any rain before the sun sets on Sunday. So good news for the weekend forecast. Rain develops overnight Sunday into Monday. Then as temperatures turn a little colder through the day on Monday, we'll see that rain change over to some light snow here in southern Wisconsin. It's going to be a pretty fast-moving storm system, though, exiting the area already by Tuesday morning. There is the potential, though, for some light accumulation. Now, weather track this morning has a lot of clouds across the area, but no precipitation. And good news, those clouds are starting to break up in northwestern Wisconsin, so we are expecting a clearing trend here for the southern part of the state as well. 32 degrees in Madison, but with that north wind, it feels like 22 this morning. Temperatures are still in the 30s in most locations, but wind chills today are likely to stay in the 20s with that northerly wind. Your future track forecast model heading towards lunch hour shows you clear skies with temperatures still in the low 30s. We're only going to climb a few degrees warmer than that this afternoon. Staying pretty quiet and cool overnight tonight. We'll start out at 22 tomorrow morning. Enjoy 40s this weekend. Again, I think most of the weekend will be dry with that rain chance real late on Sunday. Big changes, though, next week, especially when you look at those temperatures. Nighttime lows drop into the single digits. Let's get a look at your first alert traffic maps, though, this morning, see if you need to plan extra time. Josh Tim has all the details. Good morning, Josh.
Yeah, good morning. Pretty busy on the westbound Beltline so far, but everything is moving along well with no major delays showing up in either direction. Checking out some other roads here in Dane County. Not too bad yet, just some of the usual brake lights starting to show up near Stoughton Road as you approach the Beltline ramps. No problems downtown around campus. Things will pick up over the next hour or so. And other main routes heading into the city, they're still cruising along at the usual speeds right now with no major crashes or delays. For your first alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Josh and Hattie, thank you both very much. We have new details this morning about an armed robbery at a South Florida jewelry store that quickly turned into a deadly car chase.
The two suspects are dead. Two innocent people were also killed, including the driver of a UPS truck that was hijacked during the chain of events. CBS's Mark Liverman has more.
Bystanders scrambled for cover as law enforcement in South Florida engaged in a deadly shootout with two robbery suspects for more than 20 seconds.
The suspects are now deceased, but two additional innocent civilians were also deceased.
Police say the two suspects first robbed a jewelry store 20 miles from the final scene.
The subjects exchanged gunfire with the proprietor, who also fired back.
During the attempted getaway, they hijacked a UPS truck and kidnapped the driver, eventually getting stuck behind a wall of vehicles at a red light.
As you can imagine, this is going to be a very complicated crime scene. As well, there's multiple other crime scenes.
The driver of the UPS truck and a person sitting in a nearby vehicle were killed in the shootout. Mark Liverman, CBS News.
A shocking development from ride-sharing company Uber as they report nearly 6,000 incidents of sexual assault in 2017 and 2018. In its highly anticipated safety report on Thursday, Uber says it received more than 5,900 sexual assault reports, including reports of 464 rape. But the company notes 99.9% of all rides are incident-free. Uber first pledged to release the report nearly a year ago. Since then, the company has stepped up safety measures to help protect riders, including conducting annual background checks on drivers. Uber went public in May, but warned investors in its IPO paperwork about the report, which said could negatively impact its brand.
The Wisconsin National Guardsman, who says he was medically discharged for bringing forward decades of sexual misconduct allegations, will continue to serve his country. Last year, Master Sergeant Jay Ellis detailed 2 decades worth of sexual misconduct that he'd heard about in units stationed at Truex Field. As that got attention, so did he. Enough so that this year he was told he'd be medically discharged. He didn't think it was right, so he fought it. His lawyer wasn't sure he had a chance, since only 3% of people wanting to be returned to duty don't get that opportunity.
I don't want it to be focused on me. It's not about me, it's about that. It's about those people, those women that had those issues, and it's about all the people that have now contacted me from across the country, across different branches of the military, who are saying, this happened to me too.
The decision came the same day Governor Evers announced he has the results from the investigation into how the Wisconsin Guard handled those claims.
My heart breaks for the families, the friends, and the fellow soldiers. The coming days will be dark and difficult. The state of Minnesota stands ready to assist the families of our fallen heroes.
3 members of the Minnesota National Guard are dead this morning after a Black Hawk helicopter crash. The crash happened about 20 miles southwest of St. Cloud, Minnesota. About 9 minutes after takeoff, a call of Mayday went out, and shortly after, contact was lost with the crew. The crew was conducting a maintenance flight when the chopper went down.
Global climate strike as world leaders gather for the UN Climate Change Conference this month. Protests will be happening in several cities in Wisconsin as part of it, including here in Madison. UW students will be gathering at the Library Mall at noon today. They say they want to put pressure on the chancellor to call for bigger action on climate change. The event is organized by students, but everyone is invited to attend. All right, 6:21 on your Friday. If you're looking for something to do to pass the time with the kiddos, film critic Will Loper is helping you out. He's in studio with us next for a first look at PLAYMOBIL, the movie.
And you're going to want the sunglasses and a jacket today as you head out. Hattie's Bus Stop Forecast is coming up next on News 3 Now this morning.
Get up.
Time right now is 6:24, and it's Friday. Of course, we're always looking forward to that. And even better news, the sun is going to be coming out. Clouds are already breaking up a little bit.
Take a look at this shot. This is our WISC-TV camera. Little bit of hole, or a few holes showing up in the cloud cover right now, which is good news because we'll need the sunshine today. It's going to feel colder today. Pretty cold outside right now with wind chills down in the lower 20s. So as the kids get ready to head to school, keep in mind that wind chills will be in the 20s through the day. Gone are the 40s of the last couple of days. Here's a look at your bus stop weather forecast. Clouds will continue to clear out through the morning hours. Low 30s by lunchtime. Our high today just 33 degrees. Again, almost 10 degrees cooler than it was yesterday, but it is going to feel colder than that when you factor in the wind. Coming up in a few minutes, we're going to talk about our chances for snow heading into next week.
All right, Hattie, thank you. All right, new in theaters this morning is we see movies based on Legos, Trolls, and Transformers. And this weekend, a new toy gets the cinematic treatment.
Oh, yeah. The movie is Playmobil, the movie. And our film critic, Will Loper's here with the preview. Hi there.
Good morning, guys. Yeah, it's hard to beat what the Lego movie pulled off, but maybe, just maybe, Daniel Radcliffe, Adam Lambert, and more can bring life to the toys that many of us grew up with. Take a look.
Rex Dasher, for your next mission, we're partnering you with two civilians, Dell and Marla.
Hello?
Anna Taylor-Joy goes into the world of Playmobil to save her brother, meeting all sorts of interesting characters along the way.
Over the last several months, a top-secret organization has caused citizens from different lands to vanish into thin air.
That's not good.
I need you two to help rescue them. We're running out of time.
I mean, there's no chance of danger or anything, right?
I'm 100% almost sure.
Playmobil the movie is rated PG.
This way. After me.
No, this one's just garbage.
Come on, Dell.
Okay, that looks kind of cute.
I mean, yeah, that made me laugh every time I was editing it. If you need to distract the kids for 110 minutes, which is the length of this movie, it might be a good idea to bring them.
Yeah, but not the best reviews, huh?
No, and I mean, it's hard when the Lego movie came out and got such good reviews. Everyone's comparing this to that, and of course, it's just not going to live up to it.
Tough.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, as always, Will, thank you very much.
Yep, thank you guys.
See you later.
See ya.
Still ahead, we have the top 3 things you need to know on your Friday morning as you head out the door.
Also ahead at 6:30, we're telling you about some events this weekend just for Badgers fans, and they head to the Big Ten Championship game tomorrow. News 3 Now This Morning is back after this.
From the Channel3000.com Alert Center, this is News 3 Now This Morning.
Good morning, folks, and thanks for staying with us on this Friday, December 6th. I'm Leah Lynchide.
And I'm Josh Breiter. We'll get right to your top 3 headlines this morning. 4 people, including 2 suspects, are dead after an armed robbery turned into a high-speed chase. It spanned about 20 miles in southern Florida. Police say the suspect shot at police that's when 20 officers started firing back. The kidnapped UPS driver and a bystander were among the 4 killed. It's unclear whether the UPS driver was killed by police or by the suspects.
The second story we're following this morning. Today is the deadline for the White House to decide whether President Trump will participate in the House impeachment inquiry. Meanwhile, the Judiciary Committee is scheduled to hold its next hearing on the inquiry on Monday. This comes, of course, after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi asked lawmakers to draft articles of impeachment. A full House vote could take place by Christmas.
And finally, Uber's long-awaited safety report is out, and it shows a shocking number of sexual assaults. The safety report covers the past 2 years. In 2018, the company says it received more than 3,000 reports of sexual assault, including more than 200 rape cases. This includes reports from riders and drivers. Uber's CEO says releasing this information was the right thing to do.
Those are your top 3 on this Friday. Hattie's here now with a look at weather and traffic. Hey, Hattie.
Good morning, Leah and Josh. Skies are starting to clear. You can see behind me our view from the Edgewater sky camera. A little bit of a hole in the cloud cover developing over Madison. We'll see a continued clearing trend through the day. Temperatures are in the low 30s. Probably haven't hit the bottom just yet, though, as skies clear. Heading out the door this morning, it's going to be a chilly day. We're not going to hit highs in the 40s anymore, at least for today. Temperatures will top in the low 30s as we see more sunshine for the afternoon. Our traffic report this morning will show you what's happening in and around Madison. Just a few brake lights on the Beltline at Stoughton Road and getting a little busier at Park Street. No issues, though, to report at this time. Travel into Madison is still going at posted speeds. Coming up in about 10 minutes, here are some things that you need to know. We're back into the 40s this weekend, but we really change up that weather pattern next week. Some light snow on Monday and then Arctic air heading our way on Tuesday.
Well, ever since the Big Ten instituted a conference championship game in 2011, only twice has the game been a rematch from the regular season, 2011 and 2012. And if those years sound familiar, both of those games featured the Badgers. Both of those times, the Badgers won. So Patrick Herb is here with us this morning from the UW Athletic Department. I want to start right away, get your prediction for this weekend's game. Will history repeat itself?
Yeah, sure will. Well, Wisconsin's got a lot of work to do, obviously, to revenge what they did earlier this season. It was a 31-point loss. Nobody's going to deny that. But they've been playing really well lately, and I think they'll go there with a chip on their shoulder. That's a good place to be, right? That you think you're the underdog. So, and prediction? Sure, Wisconsin by 3, 31-28.
You heard it here first, folks. So first, today, people can support the Badgers by wearing red. We both are. I went the subtle route with the necklaces.
Piece of flair, right?
Yes. So what do people need to know about Wear Red Day?
We're just kind of trying to start a virtual pep rally, if you will, for everybody around the world, no matter where you work, where you live. If you support Wisconsin, kind of show that red and be proud of it, this is a great time to be a Wisconsin Badger fan. So, and then we're asking people to kind of share it socially and tag UW Badgers, put hashtag on Wisconsin so that people virtually can kind of see the support and how big the reach of Wisconsin athletics is. And the football team and the volleyball team, who starts their NCAA tournament tonight at the Fieldhouse, they can kind of feel that support too.
It's really a great weekend to be a Badger. And for the lucky fans that are heading to Indianapolis for the game, what's going on there?
There's a whole slate of activities that you can fill your weekend with. The most important one is come to Wisconsin's Pep Rally and Tailgate, which is at 4 p.m. Eastern Time at the Indiana Convention Center, Conference Hall F. But there's also a free concert on Friday night for Fall Out Boy tonight, downtown Indianapolis. Big Ten also has a fan fest at the Indiana Convention Center. All of these activities are free. All of them are going to be very Badger friendly.
But of course, the big game tomorrow night at 7 o'clock. I know you have a flight to catch later this morning.
Yeah, we leave late this morning. It'll be fun.
Traveling with the team, so tell all of them good luck. For us, Badgers by 3. You heard it here first, Josh and Leah.
Thank you very much, Christina. All right, our coverage of the Big Ten Championship game, it's just starting. Sports Director Jay Wilson and Kevin Lewis are headed to Indianapolis, and we'll have live coverage of that game later today on News 3 Now.
Beaver Dam Rotary Club and volunteers are repairing a Christmas lights display in Swan Park after multiple suspects allegedly stole a golf cart and drove it through the Christmas lights display. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt says there were up to thousands of dollars in damage, including damaged arches and arrangements broken beyond repair. The sheriff, with the help of volunteers, was able to repair most of the damaged displays, but he says those might only be temporary fixes.
There's a lot of time that has gone into this, a lot of hard work, a lot of design that has gone into it. And beyond that, there's a lot of money and donations that have come in from the community to make it possible.
Sheriff Schmidt says they are collecting donations for a surveillance camera with Wi-Fi that will monitor the park 24 hours a day, year-round. Despite the damage, the sheriff says the Rotary Club plans to make the lights display even bigger next year.
All right, 6:36 on your Friday. Coming up in the morning sprint, we are going to bring you the latest as two 13-year-old boys appear in court for bringing a BB gun to school.
And we're also telling you about a few festive events happening here in the 608 this weekend that you and the whole family will enjoy. You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Welcome back at 6:39. We've been asking you to share your morning with us, and one of our favorite photographers, Kenton Fowler, sending us another just award-winning photo right here, really.
I may be alone in this thought, but it looks so holiday-esque to me because of all of the city lights.
I love it, and it looks like it must have been a really calm night, too. You can see the lake just looks like glass.
Another reason to be so proud of where we're from. It's beautiful.
This is such an incredible city, and it's just an incredible time of the year for Madison as well.
Indeed it is. Thank you so much for sharing, Kenton.
If you've got a photo that you'd like to share with us, please do so and send it to us over on our social media pages.
Okay, it's just about the weekend here in the beautiful 608, and the first full weekend of December, which means holiday events are in full swing.
Yeah, here are a few events we think will make time with your family very merry and bright. You can get into the spirit of Christmas with A Christmas Carol live this weekend at the Overture Center's Capitol Theater. The play will feature the classic story of Ebenezer Scrooge. There's multiple performances this weekend. For more information and tickets, you can head to theoverture.org.
Just a classic. I'd love to take that in. If you're looking for a unique Christmas gift or just some new decorations for the house, head on over to the 10th Annual Crafty Fair at the Goodman Community Center and next door at Brassworks. That fair runs from 10 until 4 on Saturday and 10 till 2 on Sunday. I love this. Just a great idea to get some unique Christmas gifts. More information can be found at thecraftyfair.org.
And there's plenty of Big Ten championship watch parties going on around town. The Badgers are taking on the Ohio State Buckeyes tomorrow in Indianapolis at 7 o'clock. Besides deciding the 2019 Big Ten champ, it's also going to help decide what bowl game the Badgers end up playing later this month. But if you decide you'd rather see the game in person, it's not too late.
Nope. The UW may no longer be selling tickets online, but you can still snag them on StubHub. The lowest price right now, just around $50 for terrace end zone seats. The highest tickets are going for just under $500 at the club level.
As a reminder, you can find more activities for the whole family and the best of the Madison area right now in Madison Magazine.
All right, still ahead on News 3 Now this morning. We're going to hit 40 degrees this weekend. Yes, but Hattie says it's back to the teens next week. The latest from the First Alert Weather Center that's coming up next.
But first, it is Friday, December 6th, and we want to say happy birthday to Hadley and all the other kids turning 3 today. Thanks for celebrating with us on News 3 Now this morning.
Hi, cutie.
Look who's for reliable weather day in and day out. Watch First Alert Weather.
All right, this morning we're starting off with cloudy skies. Look behind me. This is the Edgewater Sky Cam. Great view of the Capitol. Some holes in that cloud cover, though. Those clouds already starting to break up, which is good news. Now, we've had pretty quiet weather this week, but things are going to change up heading into next week. Let's take a look ahead then. Future track starting at 6:30 on Sunday evening. Just cloudy skies across southern Wisconsin. It looks like our rain chances will likely hold off until after dark. So good news for the weekend forecast. Maybe bad news, though, heading into Monday morning. Overnight, some rain starts to develop across southern Wisconsin, and by about 6 to 7 o'clock, we'll likely see some rain, possibly mixed precipitation to the north. It will change over to some snow through the day on Monday, so a potential snowy commute home from work Monday evening. The storm system moves out pretty quickly, though, as things dry out on Tuesday. Now, as far as amounts are concerned, it's early, but we could see some very light accumulations, an inch or two possible here across southern Wisconsin. Higher amounts possible to the north. Behind this particular system, though, that's what you're definitely going to notice. Look at these high temperatures on Tuesday afternoon, only in the teens across southern Wisconsin, and it gets colder than that. Overnight, Tuesday night into Wednesday, that's when the core of coldest air will be right on top of us. Temperatures will drop close to zero overnight with wind chills well below zero. And then on Wednesday, again, another cold day with temperatures struggling to make it back into the double digits. Now, no flight delays around here or on the West Coast. There are some weather-related delays at Reagan Airport in D.C., so keep that in mind. There is some snow and mixed precipitation moving through that area. Cloudy skies, 55 though later on today in D.C., near 50 in New York. Noticeably colder, but we have sunshine in the forecast through the midsection of the country. Pretty quiet up and down from the Dakotas all the way down into Texas. Now, here's a look at where we start this morning. Our current conditions, we have temperatures in the low 30s, 32 here in Madison. A north wind at 14 miles an hour sends that wind chill down to 22 degrees. Temperatures all across our viewing area are generally in the 30s. The Dells now dropping to 29, still 31 in Platteville and 34 in Boscobel. Winds are from the north, and that'll act to cool us down even more through the day today. Winds stay around 10 miles an hour through the lunch hour, but then diminish as the sun sets this evening. Here's a look at your wind chill forecast. Temperatures will be in the 30s today, but it's going to feel like it's in the 20s all afternoon. Your future track forecast model again shows you skies clearing out as we head towards the lunch hour today. Temperatures just getting back into the low 30s. By 5 p.m. when you're headed home, temps will be right around the freezing point. Staying pretty quiet but cold overnight tonight. Lows will drop to 22. Then for the weekend, 40s for another couple of days. Again, that rain chance holding off until late on Sunday. The bottom drops out next week, though. Nighttime lows will be down in the single digits. Here's a look at our pet walk forecast. Willis and Layla in Lake Wisconsin. Look at those good. I was going to say girls, but I think one's probably a boy. Those names.
Every single pet walk I see has me itching
You
for
just
a
want
dog.
a dog.
Yeah, like, it's time.
It'll be a nice weekend to be outside playing with the pups.
Love it.
All right. Thank you, Hattie.
You're welcome.
Morning Sprint is up next. Stick around. 6:51, time for the morning sprint as we get your Friday started with more local news.
We start with new details about a shooting investigation in Madison overnight. Police say they've found the owner of a car involved in that shooting on East Washington Avenue, but they don't believe that person was involved. The shooting happened just before 9 last night. Callers reported seeing someone in a black car shooting at another car on East Wash at Nelson Road. That vehicle was later found abandoned in some prairie. Police say they haven't heard of any reports of damage or injuries.
Madison police now say it was 2 students who were hit by BBs when getting off of the bus Tuesday. 2 boys were arrested in connection to the shooting, one for using the gun, another for bringing the BB gun to school the following day. Both students made an appearance in juvenile court yesterday. According to the district, bringing any type of gun, including a BB gun, results in mandatory suspension and recommendation for expulsion.
4 people, including 2 suspects, are dead after an armed robbery turned into a high-speed chase. It spanned 20 miles in southern Florida. Police say the suspect shot at police and 20 officers started firing back. The kidnapped UPS driver and a bystander were among the 4 killed. It's unclear whether the UPS driver was killed by police or by the suspects.
Students at Oshkosh West High School will be back in class today. Students went back yesterday for the first time since the officer-involved shooting to get their backpacks, books, and anything else they left behind. Counseling will be available for students at the school starting today and lasting as long as it's needed.
Clouds this morning, but they're starting to break up. You can see some holes in that cloud cover to the north and west. A few holes as well here in the Madison area. Look for that clearing trend to continue today. Temperatures will climb from the 20s and low 30s back to a high of just 33 degrees this afternoon, so a little bit cooler than yesterday.
Thank you very much, Hattie. People in Madison and across the world are marching against climate change today as part of the global climate strike. Protests will be happening in several cities in Wisconsin as part of it. UW students will be gathering at Library Mall at noon today. They say they want to put pressure on the chancellor to call for bigger action on climate change. The event is organized by students, but everyone is invited to attend.
Today is the deadline for the White House to decide whether President Trump will participate in the House impeachment inquiry. Meanwhile, the Judiciary Committee is scheduled to hold its next hearing on the inquiry Monday. This comes, of course, after House Speaker Nancy Pelosi asked lawmakers to draft articles of impeachment. A full House vote could take place by Christmas.
3 members of the Minnesota National Guard are dead this morning after a Black Hawk helicopter crash. It happened about 20 miles southwest of St. Cloud, Minnesota. About 9 minutes after takeoff, a call of Mayday went out, and shortly later, contact was lost. The crew was conducting a maintenance flight when the chopper went down.
The Wisconsin National Guardsman, who says he was discharged for blowing the whistle on sexual misconduct allegations, will continue to serve his country. Master Sergeant Jay Ellis says he has won his appeal fighting the medical discharge. Ellis wrote Senator Tammy Baldwin a letter detailing decades of alleged sexual misconduct at Truax Field.
Uber's long-awaited safety report is out, and it shows a shocking number of sexual assaults. The safety report covers the past 2 years. In 2018, the company says it received nearly 6,000 reports of sexual assaults, including more than 200 rape cases. This includes reports from riders and drivers. Uber CEO says releasing this information is, quote, the right thing to do.
A local school is closed this morning because around 30% of the student body is sick with norovirus. Johnson Creek Elementary School had that many students call in sick yesterday. Both the middle school and alternative schools will still be open today.
Bullying could now earn your kid a fine of up to $500. The Edgerton School District is the 3rd in our area to adopt a policy like this one. It's a joint effort between the school and local police, and fines can range anywhere between $10 and $500. Sun Prairie adopted a similar policy this past fall. A lieutenant there tells us since then they've given 2 tickets and 1 fine.
Big weekend for the Badgers and a great weekend to be a Badger fan as the team heads to Indy for their 6th appearance in the Big Ten championship game. That's the most of any team in the conference, but even if history is on the Badgers side, odds makers aren't. The Buckeyes are 16.5-point favorites heading into the game. Kickoff is at 7 o'clock at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indy. If you're headed to that game, check out the free pregame pep rally from 4 until 7 inside Exhibition Hall F at the Indy Convention Center. Or if you're here in Madison, head to the Union for the official campus watch party on the big screen at Durrath. A spot in the Rose Bowl could be on the line.
Christina, thank you. Today at the Capitol, Wisconsin government officials are getting into the holiday spirit. Governor Evers, along with DNR Secretary Designee Preston Cole, will host the annual holiday tree lighting ceremony. The lighting ceremony will be held at noon in the Capitol Rotunda.
6:56, time to turn it over to Josh Tim with a look at your Friday First Alert traffic. Hey, Josh.
Good morning, guys. Westbound side of the Beltline is continuing to pick up, especially between Stoughton Road and West Broadway, but it should only add an extra minute or two to your drive time. Inbound side of John Nolan starting to tap the brakes back at Olin Avenue, making your way into the downtown area. And other main routes leading into the city, they're still cruising along at the usual speeds right now with no major crashes or delays. Your First Alert traffic, I'm Josh Tim.
Thank you very much, Josh. Have a great weekend.
And here's a live look from the Edgewater Skycam. Still quite a few clouds here in Madison, but we will expect those clouds to clear out through the morning. Temperatures starting near 30 in many spots aren't going to go much higher than that. Highs will only be in the low 30s. A north wind is going to keep a chill in the air today. It'll likely feel like it's in the 20s. We do have 40s though in the forecast for the upcoming weekend. Should be a beautiful weekend across southern Wisconsin. Highs as mild as 44 on Sunday.
Love it. Thank you very much, Hats.
You're welcome.
Go make it a fantastic Friday and have a wonderful weekend, folks. We'll see you back here Monday morning.
Get